make some shots. Gotta make some shots. Control the forefoot. How about that? We'll sound professional. We're gonna control the. That's a good. Yeah. Yeah. Control the forefoot. Yeah, we're gonna control the. Yeah. Positioning. Rock positioning. Just really focus on rock positioning. This sheet's a little more playable than sheet 8. Yes. Like I was feeling 440s. Like it was insane. Like I'm like, oh my leg's gonna hurt this whole week. This was like 14.3, 14.4. Yeah. No, I can do that. I'll be all right. Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. Thank you. You gonna cheer for us on stream? You're our number 1 fan. Yeah. Woo! Woo! Yeah.
I'm not used to that.
Wow.
I function better when I'm cold, I'm used to it. I'm just kidding. I actually don't. I think I get really cold and then I get kind of anxious and then I start shaking. My sister's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
We gotta get you some movements.
I know. Just have me speak. Activate it.
Oh, good out there, actually. Real good.
What was
Yeah,
that?
you look good.
So that wall side does curl a little more. Adam says that is good.
Delight.
It's really curling too.
$30. That should be pretty close. At 15.2.
With sweeping, that would have been close.
Yeah.
That's just top 8.
Yeah. So a little more weight for me.
I'm gonna sweep this one.
Okay. Better add
30.
just light. I thought more weight and I kicked out lighter.
14.9.
Okay.
deliver your last on draw. Please deliver your clockwise last on draw. Please deliver your counterclockwise last on draw.
Go with 8. You'll be 8.
8.
You're worried about me
A little bit.
all the time.
I don't want you falling. Precious.
Games will begin in 90 seconds. Players, please place your stones and your practice lives may be taken at this time.
Yeah, I said red, I think. If you in a 4 foot, you definitely got it. Yeah.
I'll throw the outs. That speed was good.
14.8, 14.7.
Yep.
Which ice you taking?
Edge-ish. I was taking a little more with my intern.
Okay, I like it.
Maybe just a little more.
I like it. Big ad. Big ad. Oh, wait.
Okay, well then. I wobbled a little, so it might have slowed down. It's got room
Close.
right now.
Still running a little.
Okay, room.
Back 8. Back
Okay.
12.
Whoa. Whoa.
Coming to you
Really
live
got the
from
first, huh?
Well, it's
Traverse
trying
City,
to
Michigan,
curl.
Traverse City Curling Club
Just back
2024 Mixed Doubles National Championship,
Sorry.
USA Curling.
Okay.
16 teams competing for the right to represent the United States at the 2024 World Championships in Östersund, Sweden. Got our audio drop, but we are with you live now, and we're going to jump right into the action in our feature matchup. Kim Ryman, Jason Smith taking on Kirstin Nickel and Gabe Nickel. Game 2 for both of these squads in Pool A. Tyler George here, joined in the booth by competitor in this competition. You might know him as the Barry White of U.S. Curling, broadcasting from last year. My man Nate Perry. How are you, Nate?
Good, Tyler. Thanks for having me again. Always a blast to get back here, get on the headset a little bit, and watch some good curling.
Always nice to have Nate's dulcet tones in the booth here, too. Nice, soothing Wednesday afternoon for everybody. As we said, we are going straight into the competition. Mixed doubles rock starting in play with the center guard and a rock in the back of the 4 foot.
That's top 4.
The Nickel squad with their second throw coming up already. Jason Smith in the top of the 4 foot with his first. Here is Gabe Nickel with out-turn draw, trying to come around at center guard.
Line's good.
Top 8.
Yeah, then. Yeah,
To freeze up to that stone on the
Top
top
four.
of the 4s that
Go.
Smith threw.
Top 4.
We're going to call him
Key.
Smitty a lot
Yes,
during
yes,
this
yes,
game,
yes,
as
yes, 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 yes,
most
yes,
curlers are
yes.
used to
Nose.
calling him.
Trying to get by.
I didn't
Ticks
see us
off
really
and
getting
spins
by
to the
there.
side of the
Probably just
button.
should've carved it.
Not many in the curling world that don't know Jason, and not many that Jason doesn't know himself.
And not many that call him Jason either. The 2010 Olympian, multiple-time national champion.
Hit that pretty thick.
I want to tap it out of the 4 foot.
Oh, you do? Okay. So, should I throw
Coach
like
Bill Rhyme in the background there, too. Got to give Bill a shout out.
just inside the edge of 8?
Bill's had quite a few teams under his tutelage over the years, steadying influence for his squads.
Okay, I think you're
Smitty playing
back 12.
Okay.
back
8.
house weight here, electing to
Back
have
Yep.
Kim sweeping
down a little.
and
Yep.
holding the broom.
Whoa. Whoa.
Back
Curl.
12. Back
Curl.
12.
Curl.
Ended up being all a hack weight and clears that rock through. So
Good.
Ryman Smith sitting 3 already.
That was probably like.
Just heavy, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Should have told you.
So early chase here for the Nickel team. And we'll refer to them as the Nickel squad too, as we did this morning with the Burrs, as opposed to just repeating the last name. Makes it easier on us in the booth here, Nate.
Right.
That's good.
Always fun keeping track of
I'm even
couples
thinking
and
less
siblings
with
and
hack.
other, any kind of pair
Less.
out there.
I think
Yes.
you're the move with Hack. I think it will move.
These two are always some of my favorite to play against. The nicest people you'll meet off the ice, but they're not afraid to tell each other how it is when they're on the ice.
Couples do tend to do that. They're very honest with each other. This morning we had a bingo card for all the nicknames that Regan gave Todd throughout the game. She filled pretty much the entire board, whatever you had.
I believe that.
This over curls and wrecks the guard, so now
I just
all
had
three
to
rocks
have him take
open.
less room so I could throw it normal. That's what I was trying to get you to do. Like I softed that.
Well, you shouldn't have just, it was going to move.
I kept asking for less and you weren't moving the broom.
Tricky in doubles. You don't get the opportunity to kind of throw one in and blank it out with the other team. If you start slow, you are kind of off to the races right away.
And the pace of the game too, Nate, with 22 minutes thinking time for both teams. You hear the conversation about communication between Gabe and Kirstin right now. You don't get very much time and you're at opposite ends a lot, so there isn't somebody to communicate back and forth. You just have to make sure you can hear each other wherever you're located on the sheet.
Just top 12. Just top 12 is fine.
Certainly fast paced and moves quickly.
Yep, a little bit. Yep. Hard.
Smith throws this right to the top of the 8-foot in good position. It's going to be bail mode now for the Nichols, trying to clear as many of these as they can.
And well placed by Smitty. It's going to be hard
If
to
I
get
can
rid
get
of more
this a
than
hair
two
high,
of
I
those.
might even get 3 going.
You can get 3 moving for sure. It's a matter of can you clear 3. In order to do that, you have to hit that top rock fairly thin and throw a lot of weight. So if they can get 2 of them out and leave their rock in a decent position, that would be a victory right now. And we do see this a lot, Nate, with mixed doubles. Giving up a 2 is really not that big of a deal with the comeback potential. But you get the 3 and the 4 is fairly significant. So this is full defense mode now for Team Nickel. Gabe throwing the out turn with peel weight.
Ow, curling.
Loses 1. Angles aren't real great with the others.
Just needed more ice.
I guess so.
We had to hit it high, I guess. Like, give me it's negative.
Tricky too in the doubles with the lack of sweepers, and it's harder to place that broom exactly where it goes with just 2 sets of eyes versus the 4.
Very quick pace from Smith and Rhyme starting out this game, getting right in the hack and playing.
A little less.
Easy, just bite the 12. Just bite the 12. Easy, looks there.
Yeah.
Electing to throw a biter top 12. They want this to be another counter. Looks like it's carrying all the way to that stone. Now it's just a matter of what angles it leaves for a potential clearing shot. Doesn't look like more than 2 go still, Nate, with the way those are angled.
Such a game of angles, and Smitty and Kim certainly had those figured out correctly this end.
Probably does.
I guess that's.
I don't like you can try. If you make it.
I know. If I make it.
That and it's still 4.
Yeah.
I think we're okay if we give up 3.
Yeah.
And there it is, just what we talked about. Gabe saying giving up 3 at this point would be a victory.
Yeah, there is a freeze to that rock in the back of the 4-foot, but a huge risk in playing it. You could give up 5 if it's not made well. They're really just trying to limit damage. And coming off of a loss in their first game,
But if you hit
0-1,
this one probably goes.
a 13-4 loss to our defending world champions, Corey Teesey and Corey Dropkin. No shame in a loss to that squad, obviously. And Kim Rhyme, Jason Smith with a 9-6 victory over Cora Farrell. Coleman Thurston.
I watched a little bit of that game last night for Kim and Jason, and they actually got off to a bit of a slow start, but by the 4th end break, they were firing on all cylinders and appear to have carried it over into today.
Pretty down,
Intern pass here from Kirstin. This is curling hard.
9-5.
And does not make contact, but the backstone still goes. So all the backing in the world here for Kim. Just needs to throw a 4th rock on the paint for their 4th point. A tough start for the Nichols, but long game in mixed doubles.
Give yourself like
No good time to give up a 4,
couple
but the
inches
first
inside
end's
edge 8.
probably the best time to do it.
So Kim Rhyme with the out-turn draw, final stone of the end for Rhyme and Smith.
Okay,
Kim, an
drop a little
excellent
bit.
drawer. Expect a good throw here from her.
Line's good.
Weight's good.
Smitty just cleaning this one in. Looks to be right about T weight too.
4.
4 it is in the first for Kim Rhyme and Jason Smith. They lead 4-0 after 1.
Hey, good start.
Yeah, good.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Same 408 with just the regular finish.
Second end of action in our feature game on sheet C once again. 2024 USA Curling Mixed Double National Championship. Jason Smith and Kim Rhyme off to a hot start with a 4-0 lead after one end on Gabe and Kirstin Nickel. Tyler George joined again by Nate Perry. And Nate, first player that we've had in the booth for one of the draws. Talk a little bit about what you've seen so far with the ice conditions.
Yeah, beautiful club. Thankful for Traverse City for hosting us this week. They've been super welcoming. The ice is phenomenal. I heard a lot of good things about it before our USA ice making team even took it over. It's been plenty quick, curling nice, no complaints at all. Everything really smooth and consistent, all you can ask for. We've seen, Tyler and I were talking kind of before the game about mid-14s, that hog-to-hog time for draws pretty consistently, so nice speed, getting that nice curl still, and they didn't even touch up the rocks, which they often do before events like this. We were told that these same rocks came with us from New Jersey, and they haven't been conditioned since and running nice.
Did the officials or our ice crew mention anything about possibly touching the rocks up, scratching them to get more curl at some point during the week?
They did leave that door open. It's interesting with double. Typically, they would do it before the week, and you don't put as much wear on these rocks with doubles as you do in the four-person, so they don't always need to. But given that they haven't, I'm sure Sean's watching closely, seeing if he needs to add any more curl throughout the week. He won't be hesitant to do so, but as of now, they're moving nice.
Nate referring to Sean Olison, head of this ice crew for USA Curling. A little different prep and atmosphere for Sean and his guys after working in the mall in New Jersey for men's and women's. A little more traditional setup for the squad, and I'm sure a little easier for them to deal with. Nice intern draw there from Kirstin Nickel to the top of the 4 foot.
And then we can run on the next one.
So similar to the first end where the team without Hammer, Nate, had a slight miss on their first, which opens the door for the team with Hammer to take that position in the top of the 4 foot and attack and try to score multiple points.
So crucial in doubles to get that first one in a good, usable position.
Okay, right to it. Line's good.
As you said, the team not with Hammer fighting uphill from the start. Tricky for Smitty and Kim as well. Even with that 4-point lead, there's not really a way to play defensively in doubles. You kind of just got to keep going for it.
Easy, easy.
Nice position there from Smitty, a usable rock.
I'm kind of out turn actually.
To get here. Okay. Seems tight past that. But whatever you like.
Really tough to get there with the end turn, but It's really tough to get there with the intern, I think.
Okay.
Talking about the ice conditions, we'll see if we can't get a hog-to-hog time here, see how it's
I
running
suppose
for
if
the
we're
teams
light on this
today.
side, I'm guarding, but
This has
I like the
generally
out.
been the straighter side on this sheet, Nate. The out turn coming back down, the in turn going away in the odd ends. So you see the broom just inside the edge of the 8-foot, trying to draw through that port.
Close. Yes.
taking
Yes.
enough
Hard.
ice.
Hard.
Weight's good.
Hard. You're on the guard.
This is
gotta
over
take
curling
ice.
and wrecking the guard.
It's
Well, we
not
have to
it-
get past the top.
I know we're
Weight
so
was
worried
good,
about
14-2.
on
That,
when we're
that
taking
mid-14s we've been
enough
seeing
ice.
for most of the
I
week
thought
so
with
far.
the
Just
set it would be fine.
obviously narrow.
I was taking a quarter into the 12
Then
foot.
move me.
I think
You want to throw it softer
What?
or softer?
I think softer.
10?
'cause yeah, 10.
10-5. 10-5.
So opens up this short intern run for Smith and Rhyme. Jason throwing 10-5, so just a control weight hit, a little more than backboard. Like to keep these rocks in play,
Yep. Yes.
keep them usable.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Microphone issues.
Yeah,
Okay, that's okay.
yep, we lost a mic. Must have caught the cord or fell off completely. So really wasn't able to sweep there.
Well, the pro he is, he managed not to burn the rock.
Maybe losing Smitty's commentary for the rest of the game now, unfortunately.
Good throw.
Go up, out turn, draw through the port.
Do you
It's
want a
probably-
straight guard?
I think it's just a guard.
Okay.
So sitting 2 now for nickel and
Looks
nickel.
about- yeah, I like that.
Just trying to guard these 2 up for now.
Line looks good.
2,
Line's good. It's got a curl.
2.
Curl. Curl.
Gabe calling 2 on his sweep here, meaning about the middle of that guard zone up above the house.
Hard curl.
This one's actually coming in fairly
Oh,
tight
should've
for him.
worked. It's pretty good though.
It's pretty good.
Does the job, covers the shot zone.
It's a pretty good position for the Nickels. Probably run back necessary for Smitty on this next one.
Yeah, nose is good. Yeah.
Anyone who knows Smitty knows this is one of his favorite shots to throw, the big weight run backs. Certainly good at them.
Okay. Thank you.
Crosses over and clears the guard, but still 2 right now for the Nickels.
You can hear Jason talking in the background about being glad he didn't burn the rock with that microphone that fell, but
Yeah, that's a veteran maneuver.
Weight's good.
Anything that comes off of your person that touches the stone would be a burned rock, so unfortunate that that happened
Really has
with
to curl.
the microphone.
Really has to curl.
Gabe trying to get this to curl enough to cover those 2 rocks up. Needs to carry more.
we've heard a lot of discussion from the Nickels in between shots about where the broom's placed and where it should be placed, and both of those guards needed some help to curl to the right spot for them.
And now that port is open for Kim Ryan to come through, make the double. Could possibly roll a little bit too. But key shot here. Get themselves out of trouble with a good throw from Kim.
Well made. It could get tricky for the Nichols to score at all at this point.
Yeah, tough draw paths to get in. Final stone of the end for Kim Ryan and Jason Smith.
Oh, yep. Yep. Hard. Yep.
Kim thinks it's a little tight out of hands. Smitty trying to hold it.
Hard. Hard. Oh,
Wrecks the guard, but does get
playing some
a
pinball.
redirect. Wow. Sitting at least one, possibly two after that. It does look like two.
That's one of those, Kim, you heard her say sorry to the Nichols after it was made, one you kind of made on accident, but still got a really good result out of.
And just jiggle that
Yeah,
over.
very unfortunate for the Nichols, but part of that is the sweep too, the immediate sweep.
You like normal?
Yeah.
Still getting something good out of the shot. If that hits even a fraction thicker, this is a draw for
If you
three.
could throw a little more than normal, that'd be good.
Okay. I'll try.
There may still be a shot for three if you caught this just right. Shoot that number one counter through the port and move the other red over.
That's got to be a little more
You
than
have to
normal.
throw a lot of weight to do it. Definitely there to score. Question
Good news is the second red doesn't even have to go out of the rings, just has to.
Yeah, you just got to move it a foot probably even.
Navigating those back ones will be the trick here.
Final stone here of the end for Team Nickel.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes.
Line's very close.
Whoa.
Get through there. Nice shot.
Look at that
Well
shot.
done.
Really well
Really
done.
nice.
There's the three. Kind of feels like justice after that redirect on the other. So 4-3 after two ends of play.
Delta or is this Delta?
And with the second end break, Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years.
I've seen like
It's proud to support USA Curling.
So
No matter your skill level or budget, they have all the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. Right now, you can save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USACurling10 at checkout. Visit us at stevescurling.com for all your curling needs.
For me?
yeah, it's same as like draw to the button right now.
Yeah.
So after a couple of wild ends to start this game, mixed double scoreboard, Kim Ryan, Jason Smith 4, Gabe and Kirstin Nickel 3. And Nate fireworks early in the game. Great shot there by Kirstin Nickel on her last.
No kidding, well made.
Yeah, 22.
One of the common questions you get
biggest
asked
stat.
by
I liked it,
new
though.
people to curling is,
Pretty
do you
big
run out
rod.
of room on the scoreboards? And the answer is
Mine's
not
okay.
usually, unless
It's
you're
top-
playing doubles sometimes.
button.
7 points
Okay,
and 2 ends.
Close on line.
Top buttons.
That line's okay. Straight if anything.
Back
Gonna
button.
over curl a little.
T.
Okay, well,
Back button.
okay. Just let it sit.
Settling
just
into the
have to
back
keep
of
it
the
straight.
4-foot back button, frozen. Good
Let
shot
that
by
straight if
Kirstin.
anything.
Just fine there.
I don't
Talked
know
in the
if I
first
was wrong
couple
if
ends
I'm
about
saying
that first shot not being made well by either team, so important to get it into a good position there.
I think go early. Okay, line's okay. Line's
Out
good.
turn here from
Line's okay.
Rhyme, a side we've seen a little more curl on.
Oh, line's good. Close. Curling, yep.
Should cut now.
Okay.
Settles in nice, good weight from Kim, nice read. That all-important position just above the tee line.
Freeze is probably better though. Like,
But then
if I ever wick off, they're all going. Out turn.
they all go with the out turn too.
Not if I freeze it nose.
Okay,
If you like the in, I'm good with that too.
whatever you like.
If I don't make it and they lock another one here, we're kind of in it.
Okay,
I think we throw the out and freeze.
The freeze is the safe shot here, Nate, when you don't have hammer. A force is a good situation. Maybe a steal presents itself at some point. But far more important to have that position relatively early in the end and not give it to your opponent.
Absolutely, you mentioned it
That's
earlier.
okay.
Just keeping it above tee line.
It's really good.
Dead freeze is the best result here,
Little-
but even if
little
top
light.
4 or top 8 kind of area, keep it usable and
got room. There
in the
it
way of
goes.
the other team.
I asked Jason
Gotta
Smith
go
before
wait.
the game when he
Gotta
wandered
go
by
wait.
just
Okay,
to
just go then.
give us a little game plan, what they're trying to do, and he jokingly said, "Well, we're gonna make a lot of shots and we're gonna try to stay above the tee line."
There you go.
So there you go.
Just as we said, not ideal placement for the Nichols, but you can see getting tougher for Smitty and Kim to navigate,
Or you
just
can
being
just
above that
feel.
tee line.
Yeah, you'd have to play this way.
You're hearing the conversation with the Nichols is so much based on what could happen on misses, which you kind of got to try to get away from that mentality of worrying about misses. You can certainly talk about
Maybe an inch
what
outside.
could happen and what you're trying to stay away from if you're in a dangerous situation. But right now, with all things being even, you should just be focused on where do we need to be? Let's make this shot. There isn't really any danger situation, but they're talking 2-3 shots ahead of if we do this and then they're lined up for 4. Well, as of right now, they're lined up for 1. So just be more focused on your make.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I found it to be very helpful to focus on pro side when you call a shot, especially in doubles with that precision just not always quite being there the way it is in men's and women's, knowing, like in the example of the Nichols last shot being above tee, even that top 8, you can see got Jason to crash. Not the perfect freeze,
I
but
looked
certainly the
pretty
tolerance.
close,
And
didn't
just
I?
talking about those
Yeah.
tolerances, but the coulds and shoulds down the road can get a little messy for sure.
You 5'6"?
Yeah.
Gabe making sure he grabs the correct rock, only throwing 5 of the 8. Can get tricky sometimes to remember what numbers you're throwing in what order. Tyler, we were talking about the rocks in the earlier ends and the conditions and the ice conditions and whether or not the rocks have been textured, and actually got the email just now during the broadcast to all the athletes that they are going to texture the rocks
Weight's really
tonight
close.
after evening practice. So just letting all the
Really good
athletes
weight.
know that we can expect some
Little
more
room.
curl
Top
and a little bit different conditions
Top
tomorrow.
button.
Breaking news right on the broadcast as it's happening.
Can't move it much.
So we will be seeing some more curl
Sit, curl in there.
after the rocks are touched
not
up,
bad.
scratched, however you want to refer to it.
Carve curl
Good
in
spot there from Nickel in really
Now
good
he's
position
crotching.
now.
I thought that's where you indicated you wanted it.
Just had to get in a little more.
I don't know, that's pretty good, guys.
Yeah, and Smitty's going to be throwing this one pretty hard, and I don't see that top button one going very far.
Yeah, the key for Smith here is they want to unlock that back a little bit so they can bump things around and try to set up a score of multiple points. The good thing for Nickel is when it unlocks it, then that red rock, they'll be able to clear on their next one. So still not a bad situation at all for Nickel that your opponent is the one that's moving those stones.
Yeah, I always want to make the opponent throw the tougher shot, especially in doubles.
Smitty ends up just moving the guard instead, so So if you're nickel, now you're looking at maybe just bumping that a little bit to unlock it, but staying on top of it, and you're in great position.
Yeah, make that tap, and you might see Kim and Smitty switch gears, and that red one getting lonely back there.
Mm-hmm.
So then my only worry is like if we come off of it now, then don't we give them an opportunity to get rid of our red, sit possibly back.
There you go.
So that when they blast, it unlocks all the reds. I think that's the call.
Okay.
Yep, that is the correct call.
Back gates.
Yeah, max.
Okay, back. Okay.
I'm not sure on the weight call just because you got a 3-rock transfer, meaning every time you add a rock and you're playing a tap, it lessens the amount that you bump that final stone. So you have to throw it harder in order to get that rock to move. So back eight's not going to move that rock very far. You want to throw this with like back line, just to make sure that that yellow rock goes far enough back to unlock the red stone.
For sure, moving 120 pounds of granite, not
Weight's
just
great.
That's correct.
Weight's perfect.
We got the science for you here, folks. That's about as good as I can do.
Getting close. Pass to curl. Pass to curl.
Too much ice.
13-1.
What am I doing?
Yeah, just running straight on that line.
I hear Kirstin say 13-1, so that is about back line just through
Just
type
heavy.
weight, so it was close to what they wanted.
13-1. It was back line.
There was a lot of room for that shot, too.
Less ice.
Yeah, that's one thing we've noticed playing is, I mean, the curl is really consistent, really good everywhere, but it is fairly gentle. You don't see that snap you get on a lot of national type ice. Still getting that full 4 feet on most draws and plenty on hits, but
I think
none of that float and snap type shot you might see more frequently on different conditions.
I just don't know that you're killing it, do you? I mean, if you hit this here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, I think I'd prefer this, huh? Don't you think? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh no. I hate doing this.
Smitty running this red stone back. It's biting the top of the 8-foot, trying to lose the yellow on top of the button and the one on the back of the button. And he might be sitting first, third, and fourth. They're first, third, and fifth, depending on where they hit this. But really want to lose both these yellows if you can.
I don't think that was full peel weight by Smitty. That was something a little softer.
This is hanging out, too.
Oops.
That's fine. Sorry, thanks.
Yeah, not his best there.
Could have ended up with 3 reds in the 4-foot after that, and still now just has his 1.
Or, and I don't know that I would like that and risking jamming.
Come in here.
Sure. Probably the call.
Relationships with your club. Warm Room Hero provides continuous support to ensure your website exceeds your members' expectations. Check out Warm Room Hero today at curling.club. That's Warm Room Hero at curling.club. So look at the other scores around the sheets today. Sheet B, Schweitzer and Hagberg leading Wood and Cott 4-1. Sheet D, TC and Dropkin 2-0 over Farrell Thurston. And on sheet E, Persinger Casper up 2-0 on Moores and Wheeler. Again, our feature sheet here on sheet C. Jason Smith and Kim Rhyme leading 5-3 over Gabe and Kirstin Nickel. In-turn draw to start the end from Kim Rhyme, ends up just top 12 foot, so door open for the Nichols. Try to come around and sit 2 with Hammer. And Nate, you talked a little bit about the gradual curl on the ice.
Mine's okay.
And that's a staple of Sean Olison's ice, his Nationals ice, and that goes all the way back to Dave Stavateg, former head ice tech for USA Curling. It's so much different. I think to go opposite ends of the spectrum, where Grand Slam ice you might watch, where it's such a sudden turn when it goes, you have to anticipate the curl in order to have any type of effect on line. With Sean's ice, if it starts curling, you still feel like you can hold the line a little bit. It's not gone once the curl starts. So it's more. You're able to do more with each shot that you at different points down the sheet. It's not all like once it's gone we missed it. You can still affect it later in the shot.
For sure. Well, this surface has been really good to sweep on, and Sean's ice generally is, both for that line and for weight. If you're light, you feel like you can carry it pretty well on this ice, and just like you said, on draws or hits, if it starts to go, you do still have a chance to kind of keep it out there and where it needs to be.
Let's tap it, right?
Yeah. Try to get to the inside and tap.
Yeah. Freeze is good, but tap's probably better.
Tap's great, even if it's on the nose.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good weight from Smitty
How
there.
much weight?
Under curls just a hair, and maybe
and I'll sweep it.
an opportunity to tap this a little bit and sit in good position.
Do you like that broom?
Where'd you take?
Like here?
I like that.
This or?
No, I like the original. Sorry.
Gabe throwing the intern freeze. You heard him say if it's T, they can sweep a little bit to tap too, but the freeze is the first shot. The tap would still be above the T line.
A little light.
Okay.
Chance to set up some really good angles. We mentioned earlier how important those angles are in doubles.
Hard then, hard.
Top 12.
Hard, keep going, keep going. Go, go, go.
I'd like to get it by the other red at least.
Am I trying to roll
does.
it?
No, I was just trying to hold it straight.
Spinning it off that would have been slightly.
Guard. Give yourself a little extra, huh? Because we can guard the outside of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Smitty gets a look at the same shot now with this intern come around. Going a little bit wider than the path that they had before, so have to keep an eye on the speed on a slightly different track. Just playing this to tight guard right now.
Yeah, that's been one of the nice things in the early goings is that speed on the different paths has been fairly consistent, whether out wide like that or even under the corner guard when we inevitably see a power play down the road here. It's not too different from the true draw to the button speed.
Gabe trying to open things up in the front with only one red rock in and having hammer. They believe they can set up a big end if they can clear things open.
Does unlock that stagger.
Yeah, got a little unfortunate. That didn't move more than one stone.
Come around here.
Yeah, if that hangs a little more and they make the double peel and the shooter rolls off, then
I mean, like
all of a sudden,
okay. Short's okay.
and it might have access to that red stone with that short run on the front yellow.
Yes. Okay, I like your weight.
Opposite side of the sheet now for Jason. Trying to get around those guards. Do not want to wreck the front here. Ooh, that's
Does open it up.
not a good miss there for Jason. Now that Yellowstone is open in the top 8.
It should be wide open.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll probably be about edge to edge from the hack for Gabe. Should get a real good look at this short run and just playing control. I like playing the soft weight here, Nate. Control this shot a little bit and give yourself a little more margin for error, but enough weight that you can still kill that rock.
For sure, and making sure you keep that shooter around too. I mean, to make the shot, you kind of have to
just control.
in this situation, but keeping your shooter around and controlling your rolls, just keeping rocks in dangerous positions.
It's a big shot here for Gabe Nickel.
Weight's good.
Close. Whoa.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
Starting to turn now.
Yeah. Curl. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, over curled and ends up wrecking the guard. Just a little misread there on that line. The shot was very close to being made. Probably a little less weight than what they thought too, based on hearing control that looked closer to hack, maybe board.
Yeah, it didn't even quite remove that top 12 yellow rock. It's still hanging on back there in no man's land.
So, yep, that's fine. What's the miss, though?
We have seen some too. Those once the rocks cross that center line, they have been curling a little more, kind of holding up against it and then going whether jaw or hit weight. And kind of saw that there once it got across center. It did snap a little bit and wreck on those front guards.
Really important now to protect that stone again for Jason and Kim.
Okay, just 2 in.
Second, third, and fourth count, all for Team Nickel.
Okay, edge.
You see the Nichols clock at 10:02 behind the sheet already, with 22 minutes starting time. They're a little behind pace. And just under 13 minutes for Kim and Jason.
Those TVs above the scoreboard with those times are an underrated but very nice feature. Nice and big, you can see it from anywhere.
Good hair. Line's fine. Line's good. Line's okay. Whoa, easy if you can. Not curling yet. Still out. It's got to curl.
Really like to get this in and tuck a piece.
It's got to curl.
Hanging right now. Don't want to leave it cornered on the other one. Not sure if it curled enough. It's close.
Okay,
With
I can't
weight,
get low and do it.
I'm sorry?
I can't get low and do it.
You're buried.
No, I've got all of it.
Really? Like,
Yeah, that rock is open. I
for
agree.
nose,
Especially the way that last
It's
one
not
curled.
open.
That they
If you see
showed
it's
it'll
open,
curl under
I'm-
that guard.
I'll go with that, but I don't see that.
Well, the
I've got
shot
like
that
an
Gabe
inch
was
of
talking
space.
about, trying to hit it high, I don't see any way that both of those
Oh,
go
no.
that
Okay.
way. I don't care who's throwing it. But I believe Kirstin's right. It's worth a
Let's
go
play it down.
regardless. Play it with some weight, get as close as you
Normal.
can to that guard, and hope that that top rock spills enough. But
Yeah.
it's
And I-
absolutely the right
Edge
shot.
on edge.
I believe if you get anywhere close
you
to nose,
can't
you'd
be
probably
nose.
score
Nose,
at least
it just
one.
goes to here with
and
the weight you're throwing.
Okay, can I make it with control?
If you get low enough, yeah, you could spring it. Control,
Yeah.
I like it. I guess even if you do this, we might still get one.
Sure.
Now under 9 minutes for
There?
the clock,
Yeah.
too. They're going to have to
You
play
want
quick in
sweep?
the second half.
yeah, that only 22 minutes you mentioned, certainly less than the 38 we're used to in
Yeah,
men's and
you gotta
women's,
get as low
does
as you
go
can.
quickly.
Yep.
Weights
Whoa.
up.
Whoa. It's got to curl a mile.
Cross
I'm
face.
flashing right now.
Cross face.
Yeah, it still has to curl to do that.
You
Straight
sure?
now, straight, straight,
Yeah,
straight.
Thought so. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever
That's
going to get
close.
over the top, but they're looking at it just for 1 point now.
Let's just swing. It's the fifth that break anyway.
That really looks like another gimme measurement, I think. Maybe a red
Red was my first thought as well.
for a 3-0 record so far, and measuring every game. Definitely looks red.
Yeah.
So hit it maybe just high enough that it's still red.
Did you bring your gripper down?
Yeah.
Okay.
We will see our third measurement of the competition on sheet C in 3 games. Looking to extend my perfect record so far. And I got to tell you, the other two really weren't very close at all. They were absolute gimmies. This one, probably the closest to the 3, but still looks pretty safe. So this for a single point for either team would be a very important score. Either cut it to 1 for nickel and nickel or extend the lead to 3 for Ryman Smith. And that is pretty easily read.
Didn't quite touch.
3-0 on the measurements. Boy, if they keep giving me gimmies all week, this would be great. So 6-3 at the break. Ryman Smith ahead of nickel and nickel. And halfway through, it's time for the Broomfitters break. Broomfitters.com is the place for good curling gear and fast shipping on everything curling. For a limited time, take 10% off your first order with the code USA. Visit broomfitters.com. Look at the scores on the other sheets coming out of the break. Schweitzer Hagberg in the fourth, leading 4-1 over Woodencott. Now just changed to 5-1 in the fifth. Sheet D, TC and Dropkin, the defending world champions, leading 5-0 over Farrell and Thurston. And on sheet E, Moores, Wheeler, and Persinger Casper tied at 2 in the fifth. Again, our feature game here with Tyler George and Nate Perry. 6-3. Smith and Rhyme leading. Going into our second half over Kirstin Nickel and Gabe Nickel. And Nate, a lot of the action in this game has been dictated by the first throw, starting these ends off, whether or not a team has position or not. And control has gone to the team with the hammer in those ends.
Yeah, heard Kim talking about it, knowing she's missed a few of those, and talking a little bit about having a soft release, meaning she didn't quite get out to the broom with that extension. We talked about the gentle curl on this ice, but you still got to throw them clean to have them track where you want to.
And here you see our first power play of the game. Nickel and Nickel using theirs. Kim Rhyme trying to hit this maybe to the dead zone in the corner.
Just too much.
It just goes off, so that will go back in play, as we mentioned, in mixed doubles curling. No rock can be removed from play, whether it's a guard or in the house, for the first 3 throws of each end. So that guard goes right back to the corner.
Right under.
An advantage, Team Nickel.
Pretty much take what you took yesterday.
Yep.
And with the nice speed and lively houses, I think a lot of the athletes, especially those that were in New Jersey with us at the American Dream, are adjusting to the bounce there. Normally with that kind of weight, you'd see that red rock hang on, but just kept on traveling through.
Well, we always do say, coming out of the break after the mop, it's faster. John Landsteiner, pay attention. They thought this one was short out of hand, and maybe the difference after the break will be enough to get this to the rings. Wait, all there. The little redirect off the guard.
Not all bad.
Yeah, it would have been good to stay with that one, too, as it went in the house, Nate. If you sweep that another half a foot and get it behind the other stone, then there's no double opportunity.
Especially knowing your opponent. I'm sure Smitty's thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Smitty's all geared up to eventually make that double. Can't play it right now, as it is the third throw of the end.
Well, how much of an angle do we want? Yeah, I think left tack is close.
A little more positivity now from Team Nickel, too, talking about recovering one bad end. We can come back. That's the talk you want to hear. That's the reinforcement for your team.
Back 8.
Just like we said, a lot of points still on the scoreboard to be had, especially with this power play. That 3-point deficit can go away in a hurry.
So Jason just playing a tap here. Good position. Good spot to have that rock.
How much weight?
I'm sorry.
How much weight?
Hack.
Okay. Shouldn't move.
Can throw a board. I can see it edge on edge. Board.
And Nate, with this shot, the most important thing, now when you first look at it, you think, where do I have to hit it to miss the back one?
Like that.
It's really tough to get to that spot, and you're over-rolling and leaving a pocket, even if you were to make it. So more important to play, where do we need to hit it to get a good roll?
Right.
Because even if you move that back stone and you don't kill the red, if you roll to a spot where there's no freeze, that's the key on this shot.
Little more room then.
Yeah, to your point, even losing that back one, it'd be pretty unlikely to score it at this point anyways with the hitting ability of Smitty. So yeah, get under that guard, get buried, start stacking a few up.
In-turn soft weight hit. And yeah, if you lose your back one but get a good roll, that's still a great result on this shot. This has got a long ways to go still to curl. Nickel trying to get it to turn over.
I should have held it straighter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Between them.
I looked. I didn't think.
Doesn't end up in a terrible spot. It's a little tricky here for Smith.
Oh.
It is lonely back there, but kind of rolling it frozen to your other yellow was a little unfortunate.
No, it's on the line, but it's out of the Okay. You like this? What, like an 11? Okay.
Smitty throwing again, probably bored somewhere in there, maybe a hair more on this spot, trying to make sure that rock goes. Just a little on the wide side too. Maybe trying to play it yellow to yellow now. Oh, and ends up sticking on a freeze angle. Shot rock, so now good position for Team Nickel.
And Kim tried to move to that plan B halfway down the sheet, and it was just kind of caught in between. Yeah, that freeze brings a 3 right into play.
Yeah, if you throw open, you're playing more for a 2, and you're down by 3 at this point. So the freeze is a good call. The angles are very good to play it.
Pretty low risk, too, even if you were to come up short or miss it for some reason. You're still mostly buried, angle frozen.
Gabe throwing the intern freeze. Have to stay on the high side, not over curl, but doesn't look like that's an issue right now. Well, line's really good. Well, that's a really good shot there. Perfectly done. Can't hand place that one better by Gabe. Now sitting 2 frozen.
Very well done.
You think you can get here?
Gabe was, if you heard his comment there about judging rocks, he was calling back 8, but that's another thing about this surface is if you don't keep a broom down, they will grab, they will stop on you. And thinking it was heavy, he wasn't sweeping and stopped just in time.
Which I don't really know what that gets us.
Yeah, they probably just got all inside, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to kill our back one, which is fine. Sit on nose. I don't know, come here. Just to sit here.
You're tuning in a little late. Had a mic issue with falling off of Jason earlier in the game. Wonder why we can't hear him.
Do you think
we can stand nice and close to Kim so we can hear both of them.
I think you have to throw like 10 and a half at the most to get all the way to nose. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then we just have to hit something to eliminate one. You can see most of this one. So.
Sure. Okay. So 10 and a half. I mean, even I think like an 11 and a half. Okay. Okay.
So this is essentially a setup shot, Nate, where they're just trying to unlock this and sit on top of it so that they have a way to clear Yellowstone on the last one. This is where they're set up. There really isn't a way to clear either of the yellows.
You can't really remove either, so hoping to kind of keep those angles and get rid of that back red one, maybe sit first if not second, and a chance for Kim to remove one of those yellows on her last.
And if Smitty can keep this on the right angle, they may be able to be shot rock, which is also just as important.
Close.
Quite a bit of weight here for this shot, too, for Smitty.
Okay. Good.
Well done.
Good.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. Shot rock, too.
I think that's the biggest thing. Kim and Jason had talked. If they hit that just wrong, the Nichols might just draw open, sit 3, and then watch. So sit and shot.
Okay.
It's wide
Makes
open.
the opponent
Honestly,
address that
loose
stone.
moves up a little bit's
Yeah,
good.
just nose or just a hair low?
Hair low, we got to get into there.
Okay.
I'm thinking those yellows aren't going to go very far. Like board,
Okay. John.
it's got to be the end, yeah?
Yeah.
Another one, as you mentioned, got a little tricky, almost playing to over-roll it and could pretty easily roll too far, open, or even out of the rings.
I like the weight call here. I think board is the minimum you can throw on this shot because you probably need it to kick off of the yellow to get out with how close they are together. So if you soft it at all, even if you hit it in a perfect spot, that rock might not go out. So I would say board is the minimum you can throw here.
Weight's good.
Yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Close. Curl, no, straight.
Line's really good here.
Go, 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 go. You got to go. Go hard. All the way out, all the way out.
Get far enough, I think, to sit 3. Yep. It's a really nice shot. That's about the only place you could hit it to stick with that weight and still sit 3.
And we get 4 seconds back, right? That's the rule. I've been up there before. It's like it struck the jaw. For sure. It's really good. It's about as good as you could have done there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the
It
shooter.
appears they're going to try a similar shot to what Jason made and only remove one, but try to keep that angle.
It looks yellow to me.
Yeah, they could hit it high and stay on top of it. They could also cross it and hit it a little low, remove one and roll under the corner, and probably be either shot or second shot. If you lose one, your absolute worst case is tied up with the hammer playing the 6th. But if you can get that roll under the corner, it's probably best case at 2. So Kim Rhimes' final shot. Just trying to remove at least one yellow and roll underneath that corner guard if they can.
Curl! Hard!
Just a little on the wide side and ends up.
Okay. Sorry.
Who gets a little lucky with the stuff on the opposite side. So now they have to hit that stone instead of drawing.
Removes a rock and sat second, but I don't think that's quite how she drew it up.
Yeah. Now Yellowstone on the back line is not in the house either, so this is only a shot for 3. Make contact, you get 2. If you stick around, you get 3.
Yep.
So big shot. Try to tie this game up for Team Nickel. Kirstin Nickel's final shot.
Weight's heavy.
Outturn hit.
Yeah, a little. Yep.
Yes.
Playing inside out, this should curl pretty hard. It is curling a lot.
Hard.
Makes contact, but not enough to move it out of second count. So just a single for Team Nickel. They trail 6-4 now after 5 ends of play. Beginning of the
all
sixth
good.
then in our feature matchup. After being held to a single on their power play the previous end. Team Nickel now facing the power play of Ryman Smith, trailing by 2. Ryman Smith obviously with hammer.
Mine's okay.
Key spot here now for Kim and Jason after dodging a bit of a bullet last end. The hit for 3 for Team Nickel and ends up over curling. And again, a tough break for the Nickels as well with that roll out by Kim Rhyme jamming on a stone in the back and sitting, or it's a guaranteed 2 with a free draw for 3.
It's for 3, that's right. And here's where you'll see some of the different strategy of a power play come into effect. You saw Kim try to throw that tick shot on the corner against the power play, and now the Nickels need to generate some scoring, throw up that center guard. And Kim and Jason are playing at this power play relatively defensively. Already have that lead, just making sure they score and keep ahead moving into the final couple ends. Kim playing the center line tick, which you don't see anymore in the 4-person game.
Poor Kim, that's twice now on tick shots that she's been a millimeter off of making a great shot and instead ends up going out of play. Couple good throws.
Very close.
An inch.
The tricky part with doubles, there's only 4 sets of eyes out there in total instead of 4 per team. You can lose track of some of those things pretty easily.
So that center guard still in play for the Nickels. If we want to tell a really terrible joke, which we've done a lot already this week. You know, we just keep calling them the Nickels, and there's 2 of them. So the obvious nickname would be Team Dime.
The
right?
Dime, yeah.
Weight's nice. Weight's perfect.
And that's never an insult. You called it Dime, so
absolutely.
I mean, not so bad. We're not going to do that. We're just saying we could.
Looks like they set up a traditional doubles end by themselves.
Yeah, all of a sudden we're right back to center guard and back of the 4-foot. But because that is the 3rd stone thrown, now Smitty's able to throw a hit. So possibly a run back, but at the very least trying to open things up. He does like to throw them hard. Just a peel on that one. Takes a couple people to catch that one. You wanted to laugh at that Team Dime thing, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Try not to.
Yeah, probably best not to. So Gabe trying to replace that center guard, playing the out-turn side.
Yeah, apparently.
You got to be happy right now if you're Team Nickel, too, with the power play ending up something where you're protecting one of your stones against the 2 at worst right now.
Yeah, traditional doubles ends can get out of hand and get lopsided pretty quickly. Power plays even more so, so to limit the damage as much as possible. It's always good.
That's frustrating. Shoot. Great waves. Yeah.
Under curls just a touch, so
Right?
Jason's going to have a go at this stone on the back of the 4-foot.
Okay, it's just not going to curl up.
Good news for the Nickels, even if this is made, you've still got your guard up there and can make that draw in the house even better than the one existing.
Yeah, you're likely in all-out steal mode at that point. 2-point deficit without hammer and only 2 ends to play after this. So yes, if Smitty's able to make this in turn, probably hack to board weight hit, you may be going right back around that guard anyways.
Close, yep, yep.
This is turning early.
Clean, whoa. Yep, yep, hard, 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 yes, hard.
Hey, good shot there. It's sitting right on the button. And Nichols rightfully just playing a little tap with this. No reason to hit that stone, and maybe set up a steal and maybe set up a force.
Talk about above tee line being imperative, but covering the pinhole does have to be moved if the other team wants to score.
In-turn tap for Gabe Nickel.
Okay. Got room. Line's close.
Needs to get up a little bit.
Straight.
Weight's good. Top button.
Whoa.
Sit.
Very good shot.
Well done.
Close for who's shot rock. Looks like it might be still red right now, but
Picking it.
doubtful that it's still going to. They're both still going to be there at the end of this end.
I mean, I think we're still 1 right now. So
May still be 1, but that Red Rock's doing nothing but help the opposition at this point for Smitty and Kim.
You know, can you hit this really soft weight and sit here? And then she's got a double. Then we got an open hit.
Did see that Team Nickel was low on time
The only thing is that
getting to the second half of this game.
Yeah. I mean, I just. Yeah. Okay.
Interested to see where they're at on their clock now, too.
Bring in the expertise of Bill here.
Here? Yeah. Corner freeze?
What do you think, Tyler? I think, especially with Smitty's hitting ability, throw one hard at that top button rock. If you lose the backing, great. Especially where that guard is, I don't think you can just dead jam it on the button.
Yeah, I think you almost want to make contact with your own. If your shooter stays, I mean, it's pretty unlikely with the weight they'd be playing, but if you lose both and you make them draw around,
I mean, I don't mind.
it's probably a preferable situation of just picking it out clean and letting them freeze on that stone where you might not be able to get it out at all. I don't think you can throw a guard because you have to place it pretty well to not leave them some kind of tap to maybe steal 2 if there's even a small mistake.
Right, and they are pointing at some kind of draw, it looks like.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah. Agree. Yeah.
Always like Kim's reinforcement for her teammates too, whether it's in the women's game or the mixed doubles game. Very calm energy, positive but not so cheery that it seems like it's forced, and able to be self-deprecating too, which teammates really appreciate that. If you make a mistake and you can, tease yourself a little bit without going negative, that's a good vibe for your team.
Absolutely.
She brings so much to the table for her squads in just staying calm, staying positive, but in a very natural fashion.
All right, well, her and Jason both just so genuine with that. If you've met either of them off the ice, that's just how they are. Great people to be around, as most curlers are. But
really good mix for teammates. The way they handle themselves on the ice.
Top eight.
Now, if this is top 8, you don't really want it to over curl. If it staggers off.
I believe I saw Jason pointing at top 8 just off center line, so close to where they wanted. But
yeah, may have over curled just a little bit.
Good throw. Good weight. Oh. I think it's fine. I don't know. We'll see. No.
So just going to play the guard here.
These ones always feel tricky because I get the sentiment they don't want to set up something for the other team, but I also don't think Kim or Jason would hit the stack as it sits right now themselves. So
Line's getting better.
2.
Okay.
So there may be a look just to draw the side of the
Gotta get over
button
to the center line, though.
for a second point. You really got to get tight to that yellow stone to make it, but might be able to get enough of it. Where Kim is looking right now.
Okay. Yeah. Just toss it.
Well, they're talking about throwing it away and not risking moving that yellow stone. I think on the intern side in particular, there's enough room to get by that corner guard on the wide side and make it.
Certainly a little more room to conceal out of the button, but I think to Jason's point, it is so close to that yellow that if you ever did tick it.
Agreed, yeah. Do you want to
It'd be awfully tough on the intern side with how those rocks are angled. Even if you touch the yellow, I don't think it's moving any closer. So maybe Smitty's taking a look at that now and saying, I think that intern's safe.
And the amount they're talking about, you wouldn't do this if it was just a throw through.
I think it's worth a try. I don't think there's any risk on the intern.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, they are going to have a go at it. I think you absolutely should.
Yeah, we're at 3-point lead's a great place to be. A 4-point lead just about over with 2 ends left.
I'm like really out there.
Yeah, that does look a little bit on the light side. So they'll just let it stop. Take what we assume to be the single point. Go ahead and measure this too. Give me another win.
4 for 4.
Unfortunately, no. It is just a single without the measure. So Ryman Smith now leading 7-4 after 6 ends of play.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Beginning of the 7th, here in our feature matchup. On sheet C, as it will be all week long. Kim Ryman, Jason Smith, after taking a single in the 6th, now lead Gabe and Kirstin Nichols 7-4. Tyler George here with Nate Perry.
Straight.
2 power plays, trading singles.
Straight.
I think that rock actually might have picked a little bit from Kim once it crossed the hog line, that sudden turn. Very good spot, though, starting the end.
Well placed, nonetheless.
That curled in hard. Yeah.
So if you're Team Nickel right now, Nate, your goal without question is to score at least 2. Get yourself into a manageable 8th end. Stealing a single point, not uncommon at all in the mixed doubles game. So you need to get a multiple point end to give yourself that chance.
Especially having burned the other team's power play, and you've got the guard in the backing already if you can get into that steal 1 type situation.
And that miss by Kirstin is going to make that a little tougher.
Try to run
Key
and
shot now for Smith to try to get to top 4 again.
Try to run and pick on the next
Talked about
one.
it many times, keeping those angles and keeping it above T-line, and Kim placing that first one about as well as you can. Has to be
Assuming,
addressed at some point.
Run and double, I should say.
And now they get to stack another right on top of it.
If nothing happens, I'll just corner freeze.
I was probably
Been talking a lot about the ice conditions as well. Another feature of Sean's ice is it does hold up very well, especially in the doubles game with fewer rocks. So anticipate the speeds just the same as it was earlier, that mid-14 type number.
We've heard nothing from the players so far about losing ice. And the second draw of the game, in mixed doubles games, obviously less rocks and less ends. You don't see flat ice at the end of games nearly as much.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see when we get to that fourth game tonight, the fourth game of the day, that the ice still holds up throughout the entirety of the day. You saw that one go deep again now, so doesn't look like we're losing any speed.
No.
Maybe a bit of a reprieve for Team Nickel.
Yeah, line. Yes.
Here,
Yes.
Kim talking about how great a sweeper she is.
Yes.
One of the underrated parts about doubles is getting to see those skips out there working hard.
Yeah, well, the skips always say they're the best sweepers on the team. They just don't get to show it as much. They get that 6-foot area usually where they think they're the best in the world.
That just came
Kim
off
kind of
right
facetiously
away.
saying what a powerful sweeper she was and laughing about it. But don't sell yourself short, Kim. Rested. We'll just use that term.
Yeah.
Same shot, I think so. Yeah.
So that wrecks the guard and comes up a little short again. And it's a little bit of a force field around that top 4 right now.
Okay, let's wait.
Jason can really help his team
Think you're like top
put the
12?
hammer down right now.
Top 12.
Get that top 4 position with a second rock.
T-line.
Another one seems to be running hot in the same path.
This particular path is just gliding right now. And that's going to go deep too. You heard Kim calling top 8 even
Yeah.
2/3 of the way down and ends
And
up
on
going
the-
all the way back.
And on his first, she was calling T-line and giving it some sweeping and ended up all the way back 12. Tricky
If I
place.
could ever get it right across that red.
Yeah,
So
like hit it here.
yeah, I could lose all of them. Is there enough separation I could hit this side of the rock too?
Probably.
Okay, it's worth considering that. That's an easier shot.
Okay.
Probably the shot.
Okay.
It's got to be good peel.
Never ideal to be throwing these kind of shots needing multiples, but as much as Smitty likes throwing high hard ones, I think Gabe's right there with him.
Just a hair.
Probably
Certainly in his wheelhouse to make.
So run back with the second option of the double peel on the intern side for Gabe.
Oh, just quit curling. Quit curling, you.
Ends up just sticking.
No, you're fine. I got it.
So 2 guards still up there.
Kind of feels like the reverse of those first couple ends where we were talking about how that first shot wasn't exactly where the teams wanted it, and Samake's following it up. That lonely top button rock Kim threw right to start is still there, untouched.
Qualification for this event for both of these teams, Ryman Smith through the Colorado Cup, and their finish in that event. For the Nickels on mixed doubles points for the season. Got them into this national championship.
But I think you're only gonna where you're gonna get. You're not gonna get. I don't think.
It's certainly unique, all the different ways to qualify for this event. Seems like just about everyone found a different different method.
So another come around draw. This opposite side, we'll see if the speed is the same as the out turn that they were throwing. This one turning over early. And with a little more curl, and the opposite side carrying more, but looks like it's going to get all the way into the fours. And does get to top four. Pretty good. Completely buried. Very close for second count.
So tight.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think I'm running the red.
Okay.
It looks like just a hair high, and they all three go.
Okay.
Tough run back here for Gabe Nickel. Saying all three go. If it's a hair high, it's got to go tick, tick on both of those reds. Extremely difficult run. But moving this stone, at the very least, the angle's there for the double on their last, if available. See what Gabe can do with this.
Shoot. Dang it.
A little on the tight side again. So peels the yellow off.
Well, that's ball game.
And the angles still stay pretty good for Kim and Jason now. So just replacing the guard with where those rocks are at. The angle's playing very well for Ryman Smith already.
Okay, I think your weight's like, I'm like a 2. 1. 2.
If the stagger's inside the other guard, there really isn't a straight-on run either. If they finish this a little bit,
Throw it away.
and deciding there is no shot to score. So just throwing it away to give one. Play the final end down 4 with hammer. They're going to take a closer look just to make sure.
Two seem awfully close.
They called one. Like agreed to one.
All right, well, I'm going to say
No.
Smitty
Well,
agreeing that he may have
I didn't-
confirmed it,
I
so
would have been fine with you measuring it. It was just
almost gave me another freebie there. But it is a single. So 8-4, Ryman Smith leading nickel and nickel through 7 ends. And after the 7th end, USA Curling would like to take this moment to thank the curling community for supporting the sport and the national organization, whether it's through your membership, donations, or volunteer hours that help our game grow. Your support makes many of our efforts possible, whether it's the webcast coverage you're enjoying right now, the Our House content platform, certification programs for instructors and officials, or the Athlete Outreach Initiative. On behalf of USA Curling, thank you all for what you do. Looking at the scores around the other sheets. On sheet B, a final, Schweitzer and Hagberg, 9, Woodcott 2. Get to 1-1 for that squad. Sheet D, TC and Dropkin improve to 2-0 with a 7-2 win over Farrell and Thurston. And on sheet E, still going, Persinger Casper leading 5-2 in the 8th over Moores and Wheeler. And on our feature sheet, 4-point lead now, 8-4 for Ryman Smith entering the final end of play. We know Nickel and Nickel are very tight on time here starting this end. We'll have to see where exactly they're at. My eyes say 1:36 with the timeout remaining to try to play this entire end. Uphill battle anyways, Nate. You never know in mixed doubles, but with a 4-point deficit and the clock is short as it is, it's going to be some tough sledding for Team Nickel here. You see only 2:22 for Smith and Rhyme, not a lot either.
And with only 6 rocks to score 4, including the one placed one, that freeze by Kim effectively, well, I think she made it well enough to kind of outcount that back one and take it out of play, so cutting them down already.
Yeah, tough to keep that in the house, move it around and make it count eventually. So you need to tap these a little bit, if not now, but at some point. Jason's just going to throw another rock in.
Okay, I think your weight's there. A little touch light, maybe. Okay, it's a little light.
So in-turn draw for Smitty. Playing a freeze right to that pile. Keeping rocks on a line. Getting tougher to make those yellows count now.
You're gonna know better than me. I'm not there.
I don't know what you can see. Like
I
back
can
12?
see edge on edge.
Okay.
Whatever you think to bump the back yellow and not lose it.
I think back 12.
Okay, I think I need less.
And now a 4-rock transfer, Nate, so you're going to need all of back 12.
That back 12 might just look like a freeze when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that might move that rock a couple inches, and that'd be about it.
Whoa.
But a good teaching point for those watching, too, with that rock transfer we talked about. Essentially, for every rock that you're tapping, you need an extra rock of weight for where you need to move it. It's a solid foot.
Good for the moment.
And that's pretty good. Kept it in play. The angles are a little better.
Dead, for sure. It's okay.
I think you just guard it. Yeah.
Good call by Kim here. You guard it. At some point, the Nickels do have to make some sort of peel or run back, and that's a rock that can't go into the house, that shooter, if it's hitting something in front of it.
Okay,
Plus, with 2 frozen reds in there, some work to do yet for the Nickels.
A little less. 3, 4.
And this is going to be short of the rings and curling hard now, too. Well, that almost looked like that picked something up at the end, too. That's a really sharp turn.
Sorry. Should've kept sweeping, I guess.
Yeah, you want to move that back red significantly and hope that the yellow that's on the button spills wide so that the other red is unlocked, too. I'm not sure if that angle goes over the top of the back yellow or not, but if it does,
right, that would
this
be
could
the other
start
bonus.
to get interesting. There you see 40 seconds on the clock and still their timeout remaining, but saving that. Trying to get it to curl to make contact. And just catches too thin. That is an interesting angle now.
Yeah,
that yellow-red might clear both reds.
Right, and certainly misses the back one now. Just whether or not you can get a yellow one to stick with it.
Yeah, you're going to need a guard here now. That if that's open, that shot could be to sit 4. I think it's angled just perfect
Just
to
right.
miss all the back yellows.
I can make the shot with.
That's what I thought I did.
You're like a 2 right now. 1, 2.
Down to 39 seconds for the Nichols, and just a minute and a half for Kim and Jason, who have already used their timeout.
I'm surprised they're not in the hack already to throw this next shot. If you're going to use your timeout now, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But
in a situation like this, it's almost, yeah,
There you go.
there it is. Almost preferable, because if you got to make a shot for 4 and there's only one option, it's probably more straightforward
5
than what they've got
seconds.
here.
yeah, the run is there. The problem with if you make it now, even if you do sit 3, that
You
back
run it.
stone is open.
Just trying to lose that one, because if that hits that
We
goes.
run it, we lose that one, we leave this one here.
Yeah.
That's for 4.
So we have to hit this high.
Yep.
You know, you
Not
almost
too
want to
high.
throw one in the house again.
It looks
Right.
Really, it looks
So
on
you
the
have a
nose
chance
to
So
me.
you have that run
last.
for
It
the
looks
win.
nose a
Well,
bit red to me.
There may be
I
2
think you're
runs,
high on
too.
the
The,
red, so we
the
Yeah.
one
We
that's
have to
open, but the
spring
2
that
reds
red
might
out to give
drag
ourselves 2
if you catch
chances
the
in
outside
there.
of that.
That-
Right.
This red.
No,
Well, yeah.
no.
Okay,
The shooter,
sure.
or not the shooter.
You'd have to
I don't
have
know
it
how
go
we don't
over the
lose this
top
one, though. That's all I'm
and
worried
It's
spill
staggered. We're
out
never
to make the
touching
back
that one.
count, too.
So
But
we're running this one back.
But yeah, to your point, even if
Goes
made,
there.
that I
So
think
we have
Kim's
that.
lining up that open hit in the back to.
Right on
Nose on this one.
nose or even a hair low.
Okay.
yeah, I think dead nose
Still think here.
loses
we
both
don't
reds
have a minute.
Looks
if
really
he does
close.
make it. But
That was
again,
the travel time.
unfortunate that yellow stone would just be an open hit in the back.
We've done this before.
I know.
Gabe and Kirstin thinking their travel time
Just
was
call
their
Bill
timeout
and see what he
time.
wants to see.
Still has some more time to think about their options
So
here.
what kind of weight you want to throw? That was my one concern with the broom you put down. It looked like you wanted me to throw peel.
I thought that's what you
Like
wanted.
I don't think we can whip this because we need the shooter, the runner to stay.
Okay. So how much weight do you want to throw?
It's-
Firm, normal?
It looks like normal to me.
Just throw normal. Do you like there for normal?
Interesting. I'm wondering what the thought process is.
For a hair low.
Heard Gabe say they want the rock they're running into the house to stay.
Might need a little more. Yeah.
Yeah, if that's what they're referring to, I'm not sure either. I would understand why they think they need the shooter to stay, because they think they're guarding up the rocks that are in the house.
Right.
But I mean, it still doesn't matter. They're hitting the backstone regardless. Yeah, they're not throwing peel, which is actually going to make this shot tougher.
Whoa.
Weight's good.
Close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Curl. Curl.
I think we're done. There's no shot.
I don't think you are.
Right?
Not yet. You're not.
Okay. Well,
Let them throw their.
If you take
I was like, yeah.
If you take a look at their angles, I mean,
Yeah,
if Kim makes
it's-
the hit, the game is over. But
I was going to say, yeah, that's as it sits now.
yeah, you do have a shot to clear both reds still. The shooter needing to stay is the tough part.
Right.
Yeah, you'd have to throw firm and get as close to that guard as you can. Hope it finishes a little bit to stay, but I wouldn't shake.
No,
I'm
and-
still surprised that they're not hitting the back
Right.
stone.
Yeah, Kim opting for the guard here is interesting as well.
If you make the guard, it's probably game over too, because the shooter has to count on this shot.
Curling. Yep. Curl. Yep. Hard. Keep going. Yep. Keep going. Yep. Hard. Keep going. Yep.
Working to
hard,
close
hard,
down
hard,
that
big, big,
port.
big, hard, hard, hard.
Yeah, it should be good enough. Now I don't think they have a shot.
Okay.
good game, guys.
Yeah, that should do it.
There it is.
So I believe that scored a single for red and a. We'll get clarification on if that point counts there. Booth, what do we think? X? All right, so we're going with an 8-4 final in that game. Smith and Rhyme take the W. Hard-fought battle. Nickel had some opportunities in the middle of the game. Again, we go back to that power play, the open hit for 3 on that bad break where they could have been just drawing for 3. But a good win for Smith and Rhyme.
What?
Gets
Moving
them to
to 2-0.
2-0, yeah.
Down there.
I have no
Tough road
clue.
for Nickel going forward now at 0-2. 2 games down today. Still 2 more to go.
Yeah, excited I get to be on the other side of the glass with the microphone later on this afternoon.
Our next draw today will be Bear and Oldenburg taking on Podol and Perry. Again on sheet C here, you see the finals all around. Schweitzer Hagberg 9-2 over Wood and Cott. TC and Dropkin 7-2 over Farrell and Thurston. And sheet E now a final as well. Persinger and Casper winning 7-2 over Moores and Wheeler. Our feature game, Kim Rhyme and Jason Smith with the 8-4 victory over Gabe and Kirstin Nickel. So thanks to Nate Perry for joining us in the booth here. We'll probably hear from Nate at some point later in the week too, but he's got to do some curling at some point. And glad you got to get a scouting report on the sheet from watching the game. That's the payment that you get for helping us out in the booth. Is you get to watch the sheet.
Maybe you should use that hog-to-hog clock a little more often.
Well, we appreciate you watching. We will be back once again later this afternoon, early evening. Final score 8-4, Ryman Smith over Nickel and Nickel. We'll see you later today.